Hello, it's almost bedtime. Tucking myself in, I've got my teddy here and some good books as well. We're celebrating everything wonderful about bedtime stories and nursery rhymes as well this week because it is Book Week Scotland and also World Nursery Rhyme Week. They happen at the same time. So we want to talk to you about the power of a good bedtime routine and the power of bedtime stories and rhymes in helping your child to learn, to develop, but also helping them relax and get good sleep and have good sleep hygiene, I think is the term we would use nowadays. So the key to things is having a consistent routine. Different families have different routines and things work for you at your own house that will be better, but keeping it consistent is the important thing. For me, my son, he has his dinner and he knows after his dinner that we'll have 5-10 minutes to play a little game together. Then we'll go get himself changed for bed, teeth and all that, and then we'll snuggle up for a story in his bed. And we'll read our story, say our night-nights, and off he goes to bed. But we always build in a little bit of time for a story. And we really encourage you to do the same too. Picture books are brilliant for story time. I've got one here, look, one Ted falls out of bed. They don't have to be books about bedtime. They can be any picture book that the child is really interested in. Letting them choose the story is a real motivator too. Now you might find your child asks for the same story over and over again. Don't get frustrated. This is really natural and actually quite a positive thing. What they're seeking is the comfort of a well-known story that they're learning and that they feel engaged with. So, as frustrating as it might be for you as a parent or for me as a parent to read Goodnight Tractor for the 55th time, actually just keep it as a positive thing. Okay, yes, we'll have our same story again. You could actually engage them by dropping off the last word of the sentence every so often. So they're telling the story with you. Or you might find them actually saying the story along with you too. This is all a really lovely, relaxing and positive experience for your child as well, and will help them with their sleep pattern over time too. If you can read a story with your child every night, even if it's the same story, every so often slipping in some different books, that is hundreds and hundreds of new words that they'll be hearing over the months and years that you do that. It's a really special sort of time. You can also build in some nursery rhymes at bedtime too. So you may want to say, okay, we'll sing a couple of nursery rhymes and then we'll read a storybook. That singing of nursery rhymes is quite key because there's a real pattern to the language and the sound and the music that you have from traditional nursery rhymes. They're very engaging for children as well. They often have actions that they can do, and it's a really fun, positive experience to share together. It helps them pick up new words, helps them understand the humour of a lot of these as well as they're developing too. So build in a couple of nursery rhymes and maybe then have your storybook before they settle off to bed. Now it might be that it suits you better and suits your child better to do some nursery rhymes and sing and read your book sitting on the sofa or another comfy space around your house before you take them to bed. But if you can build it into a positive sort of regular routine for your child, that's brilliant. Doesn't really matter if your routine is different. Having the same bedtime or roughly the same bedtime each night as well will help your child's sleep pattern, and it will help them and their bodies naturally get used to that, which means they'll have lots of energy the next day for come to nursery or at the weekends to play with you and visit family and whatever else you're up to. So we really encourage it. A bedtime story each night, some rhymes as well, would be fantastic to help your child. And without further ado, we'll say good night. And I think Bear will say good night too. Night night.